Good evening and welcome to the Mount Clemens City Commission meeting Mount Clemens City Commission meeting. It is July 20th, 2020, and we'll call the meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Here.
Fournier.
Here.
Hammond.
Here.
Crab.
Here.
Menser.
Here.
Voorhees.
Here.
Thank you. Announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. We'll go with our Facebook analytics, which should come from Mr. Johnson.
That is just a report that we decided to provide you to show the progress being made with Facebook. The numbers are actually looking very encouraging lately. Also, I think most of you who've been on our Facebook page have seen some improvements since we brought Nicole on. So we're excited about that. And she's also gotten us onto Instagram and Twitter.
And do you want to go ahead and move on to department reports for agenda item B?
Well, that's not something we usually actually talk about, but they're there as a non-action item. I think we used to just put those in the packet, but we started putting them in this category now.
Very good. Okay. Is anyone else? Go ahead.
We used to have the department heads talk about these.
Excuse me, Commissioner Menser, can I finish what I was going to say and then I'll call on you for that? Because if not, we get really, you know, we need to go in order.
I didn't hear you start.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions about either A or B, Commissioner Menser?
We used to get these reports and have the department heads talk about them, and we got them quarterly. So, but I have a couple of things. I think at some point we need to talk about the campers and boats, because I took a look at this report and there are campers and or boats parked on Bain, Brightmeyer, Scott, 2 on Maroth, 2 on Bellevue, Lois Lane. And I think that we need to come up with something so that residents can pack their camper to go on a trip and then unpack their camper to go on a trip, and same thing with their boats. I think that's something that we need, that we need to consider. I also just wanted to give a shout out to Jason Pick, whose memo for the catch basin repairs. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being proactive. You said that we did more catch basin repairs in June that we did in all of 2019. That was a great use of your time while other facilities were down. And so thank you very much.
Commissioner Menser, I would like to add that I believe, and Ms. Borges and Mr. Wood could correct me on my dates, but in December of 19 or January of 20, we changed how the quarterly reports are given, and that we don't, give them, they aren't given as a presentation any longer. So this is the new way of reporting, and we approve that as a commission. You may remember that we did take that action. A formal action of a vote.
Well, I kind of miss having the department heads talk about it, but thank you for your comment.
Anyone else have any questions about announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports? Okay, moving on to adoption of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Kropp, I move that we adopt the agenda as printed.
Thank you, Commissioner Voorhees. Do I have a second?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Hammond. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crab.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
This is the section of the meeting for public participation. We ask that you abide by our 3-minute rule for this public participation. At this point, because of the Zoom meeting, we will ask for your first name. We will compile a list. And then after we compile a list, we will call on the person one by one. At that time, we ask that you give us your full name and your address, and then of course, abide by your 3-minute rule. Is there anyone who would like to be on the list for public participation? Is there anyone who would like to be called upon for public participation? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 7, administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. Cass Avenue, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, at the last meeting, one of the residents advocated for the city to rename Cass Avenue in Mount Clemens and to try to work cooperatively with Clinton Township to rename the rest of it. Cass Avenue, except for a very, very small portion, which I think amounts to about 600 feet, does not belong to the city of Mount Clemens within the city. It's a county road. For some reason, we do own a piece that goes from northbound Gratiot to a point just west of Walnut, not actually at Walnut, but a point just slightly past that. And that is still city street, but the rest of it is all county road. So this request, if he wants to pursue it, should be pursued at the county level.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 8, approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Move to approve. Well, we have 3 minutes tonight. Let me restart. Move to approve the minutes of the special city commission meeting of July 6, 2020, and the special meeting of the city commission on July 13, 2020. In addition to the minutes of the July 6, 2020 regular city commission meeting, all as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Fournier. Is there a second?
Support.
Commissioner Menser, thank you. Is there any questions or comments?
Did we get an updated minutes? Because I believe the time in the first minute should be 6 o'clock instead of 7, or am I wrong?
I believe that Commissioner Borges can, sorry, not Commissioner. But,
It may have already been corrected.
Oh, they have been?
I'm asking, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Ms. Borges, can those be amended then?
Yeah, I'm just looking at, so July 6th should be 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Moving on to agenda item 9, general business, MDOT contract for Dickinson resurfacing. Mr. Johnson.
I'm going to let Jeff Wood speak to this one.
Okay, well, why don't I entertain a motion first then?
Motion to approve the Surface Transportation Program contract between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens, contract number 20-5270, to be approved by City Manager Donald E. Johnson and Public Services Director Jeffrey D. Wood are authorized to execute said contract on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Commissioner Menser. Can I have a support?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Voorhees, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Wood.
So before you is a contract for the resurfacing of Dickinson Street. It's a about a $1.2 million grant with the total cost to estimated at $1.4 million to resurface the street from northbound Gratiot to Avery. The city's balance, which would be funded by the city's major street fund, is about $256,000. I'd also like to mention that the contract does require a certified resolution, and as part of the contract, and I'm not sure with the motion that was read, that because it doesn't list in the motion that you approve the resolution. The resolution needs to be submitted as part of the contract. As you can see on the
So just, Jeff said this means Lisa has to certify the content of this motion and who voted for it.
well, but it's I guess that's fine, but there's no resolution, and it's the authorizing the signatures, right? It's, I guess.
How would you propose that we amend the motion to include the resolution?
Yeah, because a certified copy of the resolution has to be attached to this contract. Usually you authorize a resolution that you're going to sign as part of a motion.
So if we
All
said,
right, then
well, go ahead, Commissioner.
you want
Mensah.
you want me to amend it and include the words resolution? Okay, I move the Service Transportation Program contract between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens, contract number 2052-70, be approved, and City Manager Donald D. Johnson and Public Services Director Jeffrey D. Wood are authorized to execute and sign said contract, and a resolution approving the contract be attached to the contract.
It's a resolution authorizing City Manager Johnson and Jeff Wood to execute contract. That's what the resolution calls for.
I'll second it.
I think we have it.
Ms. Borges, are you clear on that? On what the motion would stand as? It seems clear as mud to me, so.
I'll stand by.
Ms. Borges, Lisa? I don't know if her,
She's muted.
Clearly.
no, see him.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Are you clear on the motion, the new motion?
I am.
Okay.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Okay,
Okay.
very good.
I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, so, and we have a support as well? with
Yes,
Commissioner
4
Warnes?
yeas.
Okay. All right, excellent. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments about this contract?
I do.
Okay, so do I. Go ahead.
I just want to compliment Jeff on bringing another, mostly paid contract for a street, paving and repair to us. Jeff, you've been, very good at that, and I just want to say thank you.
I have had some questions, and I'm sure there is reasoning behind why Dickinson was picked. I know it definitely needs repair, as we have many streets in the city that need to be repaired. So I wanted to just clarify for some people, because a lot of people have been complaining about Grand Street. And so, I'm sure Grand might qualify for different funding than Dickinson or not qualify. So Mr. Wood, can you kind of explain that to people?
Yeah, so there are only certain streets that are eligible for federal funding. those, I don't have the complete list in front of me, but obviously those are Dickinson, Crocker, Maine, Harrington, Church. Unfortunately, some of those other streets are local streets, and are considered local streets, even though they're a major street, but they are not eligible for this type of funding. And there unfortunately is no, to the best of my ability, I continue to work towards finding any funding. I have sat on several different committees to try and advocate for funding for local streets. Unfortunately, there is none.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the public, I just kept seeing some things on, you know, Facebook boards, and it's just confusing. And I think if you're not in it, you know, it's something that the public might not understand. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none. Could we have a roll call, please?
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Moving on to agenda item 9B, the 2021 newsletter. City Manager Johnson.
Yes, this relates to the authorization to publish Clementines in 2021. We've been doing this, I understand, for the past 13 years. And it's been done in conjunction with, as an insert in CNG newspapers. Since CNG has now resumed publication, it stopped for a while during the COVID crisis. We think we're going to be in a position to restart this. The cost on this is extremely reasonable compared to other means of communication with our residents. We're spending $14.25 per quarter for printing and delivering Clementines. We spend $33.50 per quarter just for postage on water bills, which is reaching approximately the same number of residents. So we would like to continue with this at least for another year. I think eventually we may move more and more people over to electronic media. We still feel at the moment, at least, that this can be an effective means of communication.
Very good. Could we have a motion, please?
I move to approve the printing and distribution of the Clementines newsletter on a quarterly basis at a cost of $1,425 per publication.
Thank you, Commissioner Fournier. Is that Commissioner Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions on this?
Yeah, I have a question. Did we receive a credit for April, May, June 2020 because CNG wasn't publishing, or did we just simply not get billed for that quarter?
I don't believe we were billed for that quarter. I believe this is all pay as you go. We don't pay them in advance.
Okay, thank you.
And the intent is to have a July, August, September edition this year?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anyone else with any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Moving on to agenda 9C, contract with the YMCA for Sportport Project Play. Could I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the memorandum of understanding with the YMCA of Metropolitan Detroit for programming services associated with the Project Play Sports Support Grant.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Hammond, supported by Commissioner Menser. Anyone have any questions? Well, sorry, Mr. Johnson, would you like to talk about that one?
Well, I'll just give you some brief background. The city is a recipient of the Project Play Sportport grant, which is administered by Advancing Macomb. YMCA of Metropolitan Detroit is a program partner, and they are providing the programming that will occur in city parks. And if they get a similar agreement with the schools, it will also be done at Carnes Field. We are the only community in Macomb County that received this grant. Other Michigan cities that received it include Ferndale, Hazel Park, Pontiac, Detroit, Port Huron, Marysville, and Wyandotte. The attached Memorandum of Understanding was reviewed and revised by City Attorney Murray. It allows the Y to run a program that they call Y on the Fly at Shadyside, Memorial, and Olson Park.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I do.
Okay, Commissioner Menzer.
Thank you. I just wanted to publicly thank Diane Banks of Advancing Macomb. She has brought some great programming and grant, possibilities to the city. And I just wanted to thank her. And I wanted to thank our library director, Brandon Bowman, for hosting part of the Sportport, sport package giveaways. So the city is really, really benefiting from everything that Advancing Macomb is doing. So thank you, Diane Banks.
I would also like to piggyback on that and mention Thomas Barnes and Carl Hagee, who have really done a lot of the legwork in terms of understanding that kids, especially during this crisis, need recreation and need to be outside and, getting some exercise and understanding the lack of resources for recreation in Mount Clemens and not letting that get in the way. And they went out, connected with Advancing Macomb, and were able to, put together a fantastic program, and then also bring in the YMCA. I think it's a great showing of partnerships and collaboration, and in a different way to bring recreation to Mount Clemens. I'm really proud of the program, so I'm excited that this is happening. I was just out there helping give out the sports packs, and there were a lot of happy kids while they were driving up and getting their packs. It was really neat. So anyone else have any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Menzer,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes. Agenda 9D, approval of purchases and payments of invoices.
Motion to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Are there any questions or comments?
You have a second on that?
Support.
Sorry. Commissioner Campbell, and supported by Commissioner Hammond. Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Agenda item 10, consent agenda. Can I have a motion, please?
Move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Campbell. Do I have a support?
Support.
Thank you, Commissioner Fournier. Roll call, please.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Very good. Moving on, agenda item 11, city manager's report. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Governor has extended the state of emergency through August 11th.
Mr. Johnson, can I interrupt you really quick? I can't hear you very well. Is anyone else having the problem?
I am.
Okay, I'm trying to read my phone and talk on it at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's not working. Okay, there you go.
Anyway, we now have the mask order. I expect she hasn't done it yet that I know of, unless it's happened today. But I expect there will be an order extending our ability to do remote meetings such as this one. When we do go back to face-to-face meetings, if we still have to maintain the 6-foot distances, we're going to have to find another place to meet. In fact, we're doing that for the strategic planning meeting on Friday, which will be at the community center. And we'll be spreading everybody out in the big room as much as we can. I almost hesitate to give you another report on the water plant because every time I give you good news, something else goes wrong. After the last meeting, we had an issue with an oxygen pressure regulator, which is not part of the new equipment, but it feeds oxygen to the new equipment. And it was not regulating the pressure. It was giving high pressure oxygen to the new equipment, which caused it to shut down. High pressure oxygen could actually damage the ozone making equipment. Initially, they told us it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get that repaired. But we managed to get a new regulator that was found for us by the people at Pure Flow, who had it drop shipped directly to us, and we had it the next day. And we got it installed the day after that, and everything was working again the last I heard. So we are making ozone. We still have some issues with automating the plant, and there was an item in today's bills and purchases that related to some software and hardware that was required to help with that. Strategic planning meeting is Friday, January 24th at 8:30 at the Mount Clemens Community Center. This is an all-day meeting focused on long-term planning and goal setting. There will be no regular business conducted at this meeting. It's actually unlikely that the commission will vote on anything at this meeting. Typically bring the strategic plan back to the commission at a regular meeting for them to adopt it. I do have binders that have been prepared for the commissioners that we'll be trying to get out to you later this week. If any of you are going to be out of town, try to contact me tomorrow and we'll get it to you right away. This is just printed versions of some of the materials that I've sent you already, including things that I sent you over the last couple of months relating to strategic planning and data about the city. So it's got a report that was prepared by Cobalt, which is kind of an analytical data on the city. It's got a lot of material that came out of the Advancing Macomb project of about 2 years ago. And it's got a copy of the previous strategic plan that was done with SIMCOG. Then it also has copies of the survey results that I just sent you within the end of last week, and yeah, it was all at the end of last week. You got at 2 different times the department head and city commissioner survey, and then you got the stakeholder survey results. So you have everything is available for you, printed version, and we'll get that to you this week. Let's see. Soccer field, hopefully we'll have that on the next agenda. We've been working with Lake St. Clair Soccer on the development of a field. This has been funded by another grant that Diane Banks and Advancing Macomb got for us. And I believe that's actually under construction already. Mount Clemens Grand Prix, which you just approved. The last meeting has already been canceled due to COVID-19 and an anticipated lack of volunteers needed to run the event. And I put in one more plug for the notification system and showed what we have coming up on future meetings.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for City Manager Johnson?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
Don, is the printed material going to be prepared for pickup tomorrow or Wednesday?
It's ready right now.
Okay, so if I stop in tomorrow, I can pick it up.
Yep, and if you want to be the delivery boy again, that would be most welcome.
I would be more than happy to do that. I will do that.
Appreciate it, Glenn, Commissioner.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to public participation. Again, if anyone would like to participate in this section of the meeting, this is open to the public and they can comment. We ask that we form a line with everyone's first name, and when we call on you, that you give us your full name, your address, and you abide by our 2-minute rule for this section of public participation. Is there anyone who's on the line who would like to participate at this point? I'll take your first name. Anyone who would like to participate? Hearing none, we will move on to commissioner comments, and we will go to Commissioner Campbell.
I would just like to say thank you to all those involved in the water treatment plant for the uninterrupted service. We all know how important water is in light of what has happened in other cities around the country. So thank you very much for all of that.
Thank you. Commissioner Hammond.
Thank you. Mount Clemens Library Millage is having an online information session Thursday, July 23rd at 7, and also July 28th. So I think that's very important that we can all tune in and get information regarding the Mount Clemens Library Millage. And also the YMCA Sports Ports. I want to remind everyone to attend that tomorrow at Olson's Park at 5 o'clock. And also Wednesday at the Mount Clemens Library, they'll be passing out basketball equipment from 5 to 7. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Hammond. Commissioner Fournier.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the strategic planning meeting on Friday. I think this is a very good opportunity for all of us to have a frank and open discussion. And for the community as well, if there's ideas out there, things that they want us to focus on, please let us know. We're all open to receiving emails, calls, whatever it is, so that we make sure we do focus on what is important to the residents of the city. And I will say also that in reading the department reports, the Blight Report was actually quite long this time. And I know that's a lot of work. And I'm very, very thankful to all the residents of the city, the landlords of the city that keep their properties up, cut their grass, and do the cleanup necessary so we don't have to issue any of those blight enforcement actions. With that, thank you very much and have a great couple of weeks.
Thank you. Commissioner Menser.
I would like to give a shout out to Tayshawn Peterson. He's a 2020 Mount Clemens High School graduate. He left today for the West Point Academy in New York. Tayshawn was a 3-sport participant. He was a defensive back for the football team and was named by the Detroit Free Press as an all-state player. He also played basketball and participated in track. He was also a volunteer for Neighbors Helping Neighbors. So congratulations, Tayshawn. You have made this city proud. Thank you. And I want to announce that the board of the Mount Clemens Optimist Club has made the very difficult decision. We are canceling for 2020 our participation in Trunk or Treat. We have 3,000 kids that come to that thing. There is no way that we can keep 3,000 kids socially distanced It's just, we couldn't think of any way to do that. And so with great sadness, because it is one of our most fun fundraisers, and it is also our largest fundraiser, so that we can, go out and do good works. But we are canceling it for this year. And again, we're very sad about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Menser. I'm sure that was not an easy decision. So I know nobody likes to pull the plug on Halloween. So I'm sorry you guys had to do that. Commissioner Voorhees.
Yes, Mayor. Once again, this time I'm going to plead. Please fill out the census form. It's so very, very important to the city of Mount Clemens. It's our representation. It's our funding from the federal and state level of government. We just realized that Dickinson, we receive federal funding. Some of that is based not only on what the highway does, but also on our population. So please fill out that census form. The other, we have an election coming up quickly in a matter of a couple of weeks. I want to do a shout out to Patrick. They put together the Meet the Candidates on YouTube, and you did a great job, Patrick. Congratulations. It's worth an Emmy. And with that, once a Clemite, always a Clemite.
Thank you. I feel like everyone really covered a lot and covered a lot of items on my list. So thank you. I too am really excited about the strategic planning. I'm hoping that everybody comes ready with their ideas and their team spirit and cooperation and understanding that, we all work together and try to make a comprehensive plan that is, I'm sorry about the dog barking in the background right now. Sorry about that. If we all come together and try to cooperate as much as possible and bring forward ideas that we think are feasible and attainable, then we're sure to move the city forward. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, to piggyback on what Commissioner Fournier said, please feel free to reach out in the next few days before Friday to let any of us know. We all have email addresses that are published on the Mount Clemens website. Feel free to call City Hall. You can leave us all messages. We would love to hear your feedback. I'd like to thank the Lions, the Optimist, everyone who are putting, the public health first. It's never easy to make these tough decisions to say, we can't do these fun things in Mount Clemens or, anywhere at this point, but putting everybody's health first. I know it's not popular to cancel things, but I just thank you for, making those tough decisions. I am going to return coffee talks, but not in public. I'm going to do a Zoom coffee talk. So I'm putting together some dates, and I have a Laura Kropp, Mayor Mount Clemens Facebook page that you can get all of those dates. I'll put those out and give the Zoom information so that we can kind of virtually meet up. I've had a lot of requests for that. I've also thought about doing virtual office hours because I'm getting some requests for that. So look for an announcement with those coming soon. So that's something that I'm working on. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Campbell, and I'm sorry, who's supported?
Voorhees.
Commissioner Voorhees, thank you. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yeah.
Kropp,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
With that, we'll say goodnight. Everyone take care.
Good night.
Good night.